Basically, we've just got rows and rows and rows, and they actually hip pretty nice. I mean, I think you can really make these work. Definitely gonna try it. Oh, dude, almost washed the front end. That was kind of sketchy. Give it a few more goes. Alright, so we're gonna move up a little bit. Alright, so this hit right here is a little more mellow. Definitely not as steep as the other one. It has a lot smaller and mellow takeoff, so we'll mess with it. The biggest problem is I've got these heavy duty springs and damping rods. I've got a stock shock, so this stock shock is doing me no favors out here. There's a really abrupt concave down here at the bottom. It's like it's made for the runoff to go all the way down, so it's kind of like a channel. That's really the hardest part as far as going up. You really bottom out, and then you've got to use everything you got just to get to the top. Alright, so I was worried about the GoPro overheating. It's like 100 degrees out here today. I think we're like 2 or 3 days shy of October, and we're still roasting out here. So, I mean, this seems to be like the best one. But, yeah, it's not bad. So there was a reason that we weren't able to go any bigger off of that hip that you saw in those previous clips, and the answer to that is going to be right here in this box. So everybody, for the most part in the pit bike community, knows the limits of these 110s, and they also know that these foot pegs are held on by this stock cradle right here that also bolts into the bottom of the case. There's no tying into the frame whatsoever from factory. So what will end up happening if you're a heavier rider, you can end up ripping the foot pegs and the bracket straight out of the bottom of the case. First things first, I do want to hit this real quick. I've got a lot of questions on this so far. This John Deere Gator with a custom gooseneck hitch and custom built trailer. If you want to see more about that, I do have some videos of the build. Definitely check that out. An update on the rear shock. I did order a 290mm shock, same size as the KLX 110L. Order it off of eBay, and it was coming from Australia, but I did get a tracking update today. It has left Australia, so I'm hoping ETA 4 or 5 days, hopefully by this weekend. So today's video, oh, would you check this out? It's like a bad Christmas present right here. A box inside of a box. Alright guys, so first thing first. This is the Jti Products Corso plate. And basically what this does is it takes the place of that foot peg bracket. It joins this skid plate and the foot pegs actually on the frame. This is a really, really light but heavy duty product. It's gonna be way, way better than stock. Also, to fit this plate, got wide foot pegs. Obviously, these are at least an inch wider than the stock foot peg. We'll go ahead and get these foot pegs mounted up before we try to install it. That way we can just take everything off. And I want to really show you the size comparison of these foot pegs versus what comes on at stock. All right guys, so these foot pegs, it's a really good thing, but these things are so hard to get on. Like, I had to get this bolt here and basically pry the hole into position just so I could get that pin through the top. All right, just like that, foot pegs are on, springs are attached, and dude, these things are strong. All right, so the first thing that's gotta happen is you gotta get this brake pedal off. Cotter pin holding the brake pedal on right here and back here. The problem is these cotter pins are so freaking small. It's really a task to get these things off. All right, remove that spring, the brake pedal will come right off. Once the brake pedal's off, we can go ahead and get the foot peg bracket out and the skid plate off. Both gonna be a 12mm. So I just want to give you a quick comparison of what this mod really does. Here is the stock foot peg bracket and skid plate that comes on the bike from the showroom floor. This is the Jti Corsa Cradle. As you can see, I mean, this is an easy 2x size. Brake pedal as well is extended. Instead of going under the foot peg and bracket, it actually goes over, so you eliminate some of that drag as low as these bikes sit anyways. All right, so just keep in mind when you do this mod, you are gonna lose that kickstand. In order to get that skid plate on, you have to take this engine bolt out right here, and basically that's what's going to connect the back of that Corso plate onto the frame. So the new engine mount bolt, it's gonna be a little bit longer and a lot more heavy duty than the existing that comes from the showroom. That does it for the skid plate. As you can see, this now is a part of the frame. So you've got an inch wider on the foot pegs this way and about an inch wider on the foot pegs that way. So the last thing to do is get this new brake pedal installed. This arm right here is actually pretty tough to get on. Actually had some furniture felt pads laying around, so we're gonna give it a good couple hammers and get the thing on there. All right, so once you got the arm all the way on, basically you can just install your washer back. Brake pedal all mounted up and into position. Basically all you wanna do is just adjust your free play back here, and you're gonna wanna lighten it up some until it's fairly loose. And what that's gonna allow you to do, because this brake arm is a little bit longer, you've got to allow more room for travel. So it spins, hit the brake, and you're good. And that's it. This is so much better. Shout out to Jti for still making TTR products. These TTRs are solid 110s and you can still get parts for them. So be sure to check them out. I'll leave their link in the description down below. Give them a follow on Instagram. Shout out Jti, appreciate it. That's gonna wrap this one up, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, give us a like, subscribe to the channel. We got a lot of content coming. That KLX 110L shot has arrived in New York and we will be getting it this week. I just got a notification tonight that it is leaving the port in New York and headed this way. So hopefully the next 2 or 3 days we'll have that shot here. And that should just about wrap up this TTR 110 build.